It's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi
News.
Hello, good afternoon to you and welcome to the Citi Prime News live from our studio number 11. Dr. Martin Lupin Adabaka here in Accra. I am Caleb Kuda. Coming up, lawyers for Ashanti Regional NPP Chairman Bernard Entribo-Siako, also known as Chairman Wontumi, protest the Attorney General's decision to use the General Manager of Akunta Mining as a prosecution witness.
The way that the Attorney General appears to be poaching his own accused persons suggests that there is intent to undermine the course of justice.
Also coming up, following a sustained campaign from Citi FM and Channel 1 TV, Northern Caucus in Parliament announces program to scale up commercial rice production within the region to tackle youth unemployment, and still ahead.
Since they are not willing to listen to us, we have to do the needful for the president to listen to us.
Our school children need to cross the road. We need footbridge.
Residents of Sapeman and adjoining communities here in Accra demand footbridges on the stretch following series of knockdowns leading to the death of many pedestrians, including school children. And later, labor unions expressed disappointment in leadership over 2026 base pay negotiations.
They should stop what they are doing. They should behave like labor union and not government. And if the outcome is not good, we are going to reject it and protest against them and government. The ending point is not going to be anything better for labor. So if they don't change their attitude, then we are going to protest.
We are live on affiliates across the country in the Western region. This is Premier 100.5 FM, Beach 105.5 FM, and Sky 93.5 FM, all in Takrada in the Bono region. This is J Life 95.5 FM in Sunyani. Hello to you in the Ashanti region on Orange 107.9 FM, Kumasi in the Volta region. This is Global 105.1 FM Ho, and Adanu 107.7 FM Adakluwaya. In the northern region, this is Diamond 93.7 FM in Tamale, and in the upper west region, this is Westlink 88.1 FM Laura. If you are in the upper east region, you're listening to us live on Source 100.1 FM Boko and Pure 100.5 FM in Ferongo. In the northeast region, we are live on SCAP 101.3 FM Nyankbandori. Around the globe, we are live on citinewsroom.com.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Thank you so much for choosing us this afternoon. Let's settle for details of our stories now. And lawyers for the NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Entribo-Siako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, have expressed displeasure over the Attorney General's decision to use the General Manager of Akunta Mining as a prosecution witness. The Attorney General yesterday announced the withdrawal of all charges against Edward Akoko after he agreed to serve as a prosecution witness. Speaking to journalists before today's court hearing, lead counsel for Chairman Wontumi, Andy Apiakubi, described the Attorney General's decision as unacceptable.
It doesn't change our position. We have still pleaded not guilty, and we will come to prosecute the case. I always sound this warning that we should be careful not to attempt to influence decisions of court. Attorney General is also Minister for Justice, and his role as Minister of Justice is even more important than his role as the Attorney General and government prosecutor. So if Attorney General, with all the materials available to him, all the resources available to him, if it is just for him to only rely on a former accused person to prosecute a matter against one of the accused persons or some of the accused persons, and he thinks that justice may not be undermined. That is his decision. I would have thought that his role as Minister of Justice would have persuaded him at all times to be careful that the freedom, the justice of the moment is served also on all the accused persons until they are proven guilty. But the way that the Attorney General appears to be poaching his own accused persons suggests that there is intent to undermine the cause of justice. We will resist your princess rule.
Andy Apia Kubi is lead counsel for NPP's Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Entry Bosniako, better known as Chairman Wontumi. Still on Chairman Wontumi because the two cases involving him have been adjourned to November 12th and December 4. In the first case, it concerns allegations that he permitted mining activities on his concession at Summer Boy without the required approval. Proceedings have been adjourned to November 12th. Now, the adjournment followed a request from the prosecution to enable them to serve the defense with necessary disclosures. On to the second case, Mr. Wontumi is accused of engaging in mining operations within the Tanon Forest Reserve without authorization. That was postponed because the presiding judge is currently on leave. It had been expected that the Attorney General would formally move a motion to discontinue the case against Edward Akoko, the general manager of Akunta Mining, a company owned by Chairman Wontumi. This follows the decision to have Mr. Akoko serve as prosecution witness. To some of the stories now, and residents of Sapema and Pubiman and adjoining communities in the Gan West municipality of the Greater Accra region have staged a demonstration to demand the immediate construction of a footbridge to ensure pedestrian safety. According to the residents, the absence of a footbridge along the main road linking the communities to Amasaman has led to frequent fatal knockdowns involving residents, mostly school children, while attempting to cross the busy stretch. The protesters lamented in an interview with Citi News the seeming neglect of their plight by authorities despite several appeals.
Since they are not willing to listen to us, we have to do the needful for the president to listen to us. Sapema need improvement. We need a footbridge for our kids because we have a lot of children which they have been crossing the road, and that is our main issue.
We are not demonstrating against the government for any other thing than footbridge. Our school children need to cross the road. Our children need to go to school. The agent has to go out. The market women have to go to market. We need footbridge. Our story is simple.
Those were some protesting residents of Sapema and Pubiman in the Gan West municipality here in the Greater Accra region. Now, the municipal chief executive responsible for the area, John Desmond Soanai, has pledged to convey their concerns to the appropriate quarters and assured them of a swift intervention from government after receiving their petition. Take a listen.
Normally, protocol demands that when you meet the president and you tell him something, he will tell you that he will go and consult and revert. But instantly, our president, the president of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, instructed the road minister and said to him, he should quickly look at it, amend the design and include it. This is what I've been telling all of you. However, to say it's going to be done, we have to go through different processes. You have to go through redesigning, you have to go through procurements, you have to go through budgets, you have to go through so many instances before we can see the actual work on the ground. So as I've been saying to you, His Excellency has already given us a thumb up. So it's about patience for all this to be materialized. However, knowing very well that this is the need of the residents. Your voice is my voice. I am with you.
John Desmond Soanai is MCE for Gan West. President John Dramani Mahama says transparency and accountability will remain the guiding principles of his administration's economic agenda as his government works to attract sustainable investment into the country. He noted that economic reforms introduced under his leadership have fostered a more favorable investment climate, strengthening the economy and opening new opportunities for both local and foreign investors. He addressed the diplomatic community and a delegation from Germany led by President Frank-Walter Steinmeier, who is on a 3-day state visit to Ghana. At the same time, President Mahama called on developed nations to honor their climate finance commitments as Ghana prepares to participate in the upcoming COP30 summit in Brazil. He indicated that countries in the global north have not been consistent in supporting developing nations with funds to adapt to the effects of climate change.
Persistently pledges in terms of assisting with adaptation and in terms of assisting with a whole fight against climate change have not been forthcoming, especially from the global north. We go to COP, pledges are made, but unfortunately we're very short on delivery. And so we will continue to advocate that for the countries that have been the biggest polluters, they should step forward and put the cash up front so that everybody can draw from that fund to be able to ameliorate some of the adverse effects that we have. Ghana has its national determined goals, and so we have done our report on what the progress has been in terms of achieving our nationally determined targets. And I believe that our delegation that is going to Belém is going to put that forward to the international community.
President John Dramani Mahama then, as part of his state visit to Ghana, the President of Germany, Frank-Walter Steinmeier, has cut sword for the commencement of construction of a €5.6 million Center of Excellence for Green Technology at the Kumasi Technical Institute. The project, which forms part of Ghana's Technical and Vocational Education Training TVET transformation agenda, is expected to serve as a hub for innovation, research and practical training in renewable energy and sustainable technology. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister of Education Harun Idrisu said the initiative aligns with the government's reset agenda aimed at addressing youth unemployment through skill-based training.
We are profoundly grateful. What is it that he has done today is contributing to improving livelihoods and contributing significantly to addressing unemployment and particularly youth unemployment. As part of President Mahama Reset Agenda, Excellency Samaya, we are focusing on developing a TVET policy and establishing a TVET fund to support the skills training of young people in order that they can make meaningful contribution to our national development effort. We take today in pride that shared opportunity, mutual cooperation between Ghana and Germany has already yielded some dividends of over 40,000 persons trained arising out of it. And I'm happy to be working with my colleague now on a new initiative of digitalizing our education system using German technology, focusing primarily on kindergarten and junior high school and their use of technology.
Harun Idrisu is Minister responsible for education. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studio at number 11. Dr. Morton Lube in Adabaka here in Accra with me, Caleb Kuda. We go for a very quick break, but when we return, labor unions express disappointment in leadership over 2026 base pay negotiations. Stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn one CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community could win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for staying with us to some of the stories now. And some labor unions are expressing frustration with the leadership of organized labor over what they describe as the poor handling of the ongoing 2026 base pay negotiations. The unions say organized labor's initial proposal of 15% increase shows a lack of accountability and respect for public sector workers amid rising taxes and the escalating cost of living. Speaking to Citi News, former national chairman of the Senior Staff Association of the Universities of Ghana, Isaac Donko, urged the leadership to push for a 50% increase instead.
Against the behavior of the so-called leadership of organized labor who are doing things in secrecy. They have to be transparent. They have to move with the rest of us. They have to be open. They don't have to speak for government. This is not the first time we are negotiating. By this time, no. The attitude is bad. It is so bad. So we are telling them that they should stop what they are doing. They should behave like labor unions and not government. We are serious, and if the outcome is not good, we are going to reject it and protest against them and government. It is a simple message that where they've started, the ending point is not going to be anything better for labor. So if they don't change their attitude, then we are going to protest.
Mr. Donko further attributed their demands to what he describes as the frequent increases in utility tariffs throughout the country, throughout the year.
Early this year, we had a negotiation with government. When they came, the Minister of Finance made all of us aware that this year they are not going to increase any utility. So for that reason, they are begging us to accept 10% increment, of which we all agreed and accepted. Right after the 10% increment, what happened? They've increased utility twice within the year. When you add up, it amounts to almost 21%. What does it mean? You are not straightforward. Oh, take this, I won't increase it. Now you give me 10, you are now taking me to 20. Now you are making projections for next year. You don't even know what will happen next year. And you are starting with 15%, 5%, 2%. So we are not comfortable. We know what government can do next year. That's why they are in hurry to give us this more percentage.
Isaac Donko is former national chairman of the Senior Staff Association of the Universities of Ghana. The Vegetable Producers and Exporters Association of Ghana is calling for urgent investment in the local rice value chain to address the growing challenge of unsold produce among farmers across the country. The call follows increasing complaints from rice farmers about limited access to markets despite their claims of having the capacity to meet Ghana's annual rice demand. Speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, President of the association Felix Kamasa said the issue must be addressed through better pricing, value addition and infrastructure support.
We have a training center. The training center, we provide local rice for our students, and we realize that they like it, but the problem is that the price of the local rice, if we are out of stock and you want to go and buy the local rice and go and mail it, the price is higher. You go and mail the same thing. When you compare the price with the imported rice, the price is the same range. So people will prefer going for those rice.
But is it good for people to do that?
It's not good. The problem too is that how we even polish our rice. So I think that adding value is one of the key we have to look at. Those facilities we have, when you go to Apalavi, you know, my place where I have the rice farm is close to Apalavi. The machine they have there is since Nkrumah time. So when you go there,
the machine
you have to even be in line. You can send your product there, you will come for it the following day. We should try to build capacity for those machines.
Felix Kamasa is president of the Vegetable Producers and Exporters Association of Ghana. We stay on rice because rice farmers across the country are facing a major crisis due to a significant glut in the market that threatens their livelihoods. Rice fields are abundant with harvest but with no available market, leaving many farmers in debt, while processing factories are being forced to lay off workers as sales continue to plummet. The farmers are therefore calling for urgent government intervention. Our Northern Bureau Chief Shawana Yusuf visited some factories and filed this report.
At the Tamana Rice Factory in Nasia in the Northeast region, thousands of bags of processed rice remain piled up, unsold and unused. The factory alone has over 10,000 metric tons of rice sitting idle, raising serious concerns for both farmers and processors. Speaking to Channel 1 TV, the Chief Executive Officer of Tamana Company Limited, Alhaji Saibu Brema, expressed deep frustration over the glut and its impact on the livelihood of farmers and factory workers.
In terms of tons, currently I have over 10,000 tons in my warehouse. Both milled and unmilled rice are all packed. Nobody is buying that rice. And those days, in a month, we used to supply not with less than 20,000 tons within a month. But currently, even within the year, we cannot even be able from 2025 January up to date. We've not sold even up to 5 tons of rice.
Amid the crisis, the Rice Farmers Association has threatened to boycott this year's Farmers' Day celebration, with other farmer groups expected to join in solidarity.
The call that our association made to our members that we are calling off the Farmers' Day celebration if something is not done. This initiative was established to celebrate the achievement of farmers. Now farmers are not happy in the country. What are we gathering to celebrate?
The glut has forced the Tamana Rice Factory to lay off over 50 workers, down from an initial workforce of more than 100 due to its inability to sustain operations amid the poor demand for local rice.
Currently, I used to work with 105 staff. Currently, I have reduced them to 45 workers. And if nothing has done, I'm sure by the next time, months we will solely lay off the remaining 45 staff.
A visit by Channel 1 TV to rice retail stores in Tamale revealed that consumers largely base their choices on price and availability.
From rice, we have some that cost really high. Let me take peacock, for instance. It comes in only 10 kg. That will cost you like 300 cedis. Peacock. Lily, 25 kg will cost you like 700 and something, which can equally buy you twice 50 kg of the local rice.
That was our Northern Bureau Chief Shawana Yusuf's report. Meanwhile, the Northern Caucus of Parliament has announced an initiative to scale up commercial rice production in the Northern Enclave as part of efforts to create jobs for the youth. Majority Leader Mahama Yariga announced the initiative during an engagement with members of the Diplomatic Corps.
We have invited, the Northern Caucus has invited the 6 municipal and district chief executives, and we're sending them this weekend to Kenya, which also has a huge rice production industry at a very large scale. And they're going to Kenya this weekend, the DCEs, and some chiefs from those locations to study commercial production of rice. And we also, as a caucus, invited some of the importers of rice to try and understand what we can do in the north to have them take the rice from us instead of importing the rice. And the importers suggested that they would like to take us to Vietnam, where they take their rice from, so that we see what Vietnam is doing, which makes them go there to pick the rice, and if we could replicate such practices here. So the importers are funding
us to take, one major chief in each of the regions. So in all, about 5 very senior chiefs to Vietnam.
Let's stay with the Majority Leader Mahama Ayariga because he is urging Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin to prioritize peace efforts in northern Ghana before focusing on mediating the Russia-Ukraine war. His comments follow the Speaker's recent appointment to the Inter-Parliamentary Union's Task Force on the peaceful resolution of the Russia-Ukraine war. Speaking during an engagement between the Northern Caucus of Parliament and MPs, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Mahama Ayariga stressed the need for strong local interventions to address long-standing tensions and conflicts in the Northern Enclave.
The region, which covers 6 constituencies, have witnessed major instability the past, several years, and has intensified a bit. So we are looking at how do we really have some engagement with the North around the issues of peace and sustainable peace. And after that area, we also witnessed a few occurrences in the Savannah region. And so we thought that as members of Parliament, and I've had a discussion with the Right Honourable Speaker about this, before he goes to Ukraine, I think he should check his own neighborhood, and then let's see how we can work together to deal with the peace situation in the North. So one of the things that as Northern Caucus we want to do is, if we get some support, to pull together a Northern Conference around peace. I think that basically there are fault lines, there are underlying issues, and the problem has been to not start working on the underlying issues and wait till they erupt into violent conflict.
Majority Leader Mahama Ayariga there. Member of Parliament for Tempane, Lydia Lamisi Akamvareba, has condemned the shooting of 2 officers of the Ghana Immigration Service at Nagani in the Upper East region. In a statement, the MP expressed sorrow over the loss of 1 officer and extended condolences to the bereaved family, the injured officer, and the entire Ghana Immigration Service. Lydia Lamisi Akamvareba also condemned the alleged actions of some military personnel who reportedly invaded Basonde following the Nagani shooting, assaulting residents and leaving several persons injured. She said the development has created fear and insecurity among her constituents. Minister for Sports and Recreation Kofi Adams says the ministry has developed a facilities maintenance manual to guide the upkeep of sports stadia across the country. This follows concerns raised by the Auditor General's 2019 Performance Audit Report, which highlights the absence of a clear policy on the operation and maintenance of national sports facilities. The poor condition of major stadia has been a long-standing issue, with the Confederation of African Football recently withdrawing its approval for the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi due to maintenance concerns. Appearing before the Public Accounts Committee, Kofi Adams also disclosed that a new national sports policy, currently in draft form, is expected to be completed by end of March 2026.
These stadia, as you rightly know, were constructed many years ago. It's only some intermittent renovations that is being done. But through the best practices across the world, we were able to gather, document, and develop a maintenance manual, which the ministry and the NSA is applying to now. You would observe, Mr. Chairman, that recently, I think few days ago, even a church program was held at the Accra Sports Stadium. And one concern of Ghanaians is about even the pitch, the playing space, and you observe that was not touched. This is also because of the system that the ministry have put in place and the NSA is applying to later.
Minister for Sports and Recreation Kofi Adams before the Public Accounts Committee. There, let's stay with the Public Accounts Committee because the Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources has been there, and he has defended the government's decision to revoke more than 270 small-scale mining licenses. The Minerals Commission says the action was taken due to breaches of mining regulations and expiration of some permits. Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources Yusuf Suleimana says a comprehensive review of the small-scale licensing regime revealed several irregularities, making the revocations necessary. He made the remarks at a Public Accounts Committee hearing today.
We found out that even in so many cases where the officers had said that don't go ahead, these are the reasons why I'm asking you not to go ahead, some officers went ahead and approved and gave out those concessions. We have revoked them, and we challenge them to take us to court. Again, there were instances where a concession is so close to a community. Indeed, if you were to mine, you end up mining within the houses of the people. And so the officers professionally recommended that do not give out these concessions. They were given.
Yusuf Suleimana is Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, and that's how we end today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which came to you live from our studio at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabaka here in Accra. There is more news when you log on to citynewsroom.com. I am Caleb Kuda. Good afternoon.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at City 973.